Good morning, welcome to Optimal Frequency. I'm Grant. Talk to spirits here at my house using sources of white noise. I then remove the sound of the white noise with an artificial intelligence, and that leaves behind the spirit voices. I was thinking last night, just wanted to do an experiment or two, and I haven't used my long cable that I bought to run the mic up to the sink at the other house. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, I'd really like to get, maybe if I took my phone, this was just an idea I had, put like a glass bowl in the sink upside down, put the phone up underneath that, and let the water hit that, and make it like the phone is actually being surrounded by the sound of the water. Crank that up, see if I can capture more echoey sound. And the more I thought about it, the idea came to me, why don't I put myself in that sound chamber? Now, I don't know why I never thought about doing this before. Well, this room that I'm in now is very echoey to begin with, and it's smaller than the old house, right, where I used to be in the basement there. So as I was thinking about it, I'm like, I could definitely turn this room into an echo chamber. And let me show you what I've done this morning. So I've got this cable you can see running down there from my computer here, and it runs all the way through the office, out the door, along the floor. No, we still haven't put pictures up or anything like that. We're at a standstill with this house. Not sure if we're going to stay here after 6 months. We'll see. Oh, where's the cable go? Up here. And then right over to the sink. Okay, so I've set my microphone here. I wasn't sure because I connected 3 cables together, actually 4 if you count this short, what is it, 4 feet or 6 feet. So I wasn't sure if that would actually produce sound all the way back on the computer, like 35 feet away, but it actually works. So I'm going to turn this tap on very quietly here. And we'll see. I'm not sure what it's going to sound like on the camera here, but I tested this earlier and it's not that loud. It's very quiet actually. Now, we're going to go back down to the office, or the dungeon as I like to call it. Let's close this door, keep the echo in. Ooh. You can hear it already, right? Under the sound settings, which is this box up here, I've chosen my Yeti microphone. See if we can get closer here. And if you right click that, you go to properties, and then you click on the listen tab, you can listen to your microphone. Okay, so that's what I've done. And I've set it so the sound is coming out the speakers on the TV. So I'm going to turn those up right now. It's about halfway, 50. So remember how low of a sound it was before at the sink actually, okay? But I've also got this running through my surround sound system. So I got 2 big speakers there, a center, and then the 2 side ones over here, okay? So let me turn that on. Dog's laying on his blanket. If I put myself over here on the couch, in the center of the room, and we crank this volume up. How you doing today, spirits? this going to work well? So keep in mind, that's just dripping straight into the sink. That's not set up with the kettle fountain doing its thing and the sugar bowl doing its thing, right? So if I set that up to run the way we get the good sound, it'll be even louder because that's just a little tiny trickle going into the sink. We'll see if this experiment, this echo chamber, works. And then if it does work, which I'm sure it should, what I'll do is I'll sit here on this couch and I will run a topic through the sink, but in my echo chamber. It's kind of a neat experiment. Let's see what happens. So what I'm doing, I'm surprised actually that didn't work so well this morning when I did the little test shooting the noise out of the speakers. But I've decided to do a triple attack here. And yeah, don't mind my eyes. I don't know where to look on this stupid phone. I never use it. I'm going to run this phone at the sink with the kettle fountain and the sugar bowl running. I can hear an echo. I've got the microphone set up there to capture everything. What that's going to do is feed the sound back to the TV. I'm going to leave this room closed. I'm going to leave my video camera in this room. But what I want to do is sync the answers that I get on this phone by doing a regular session at the sink, come back down, analyze not only the filtered sound that came through the microphone, see if we got anything different there, but also analyze the video recording to see what was heard in this room in the echo chamber. I'm going to record here. I got to get this all running. I can hear it talking down in the room. Go down and make sure that the sound is good there. I have to start the recording down there on the microphone. But I don't want to miss, when I turn this tap on for the first time, I want to capture all the voices right from the beginning. Third time's the charm. I couldn't get the water to come through the kettle fountain. It's working now. Let's get the sugar bowl going right here. Down, settle down. Hopefully that doesn't slide in. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go test the echo chamber. Okay, so I am going through this and it's actually taking a lot of time, which I knew it would, but I am getting a lot of data. Some of it is better than, like the phone is not as good as this Yeti mic. And it's weird because it's really, some of it's really clear from what I'm getting through this Yeti mic here. But it's taken a long time. If it takes me 4 days to put this together, I don't care. It's all one big experiment. If I have to break it down into a couple parts, I will. We'll see. But at this point in the experiment, I was at the sink and I left to come down here to actually start the recording of the Yeti mic because I wanted to make sure everything was running and I could see the wave pattern working before I started recording because there's no sense recording for 10 minutes and it's not working. And I also had to turn the video camera on, which was in this room. So up to this point, the data that we've been analyzing has only been from the phone. And now I'm going to start showing you what the Yeti mic picked up as I turned it on. I haven't gone through it yet. But I did catch something. So when I leave this room and I get back to the sink, I said, okay, I'm back. And the weird thing is, at that point, I listened, the phone captured a woman's voice saying something, and then a man says, "Hey, Grant." Well, right beside it, the Yeti mic was running. It captures something totally different. When the woman was speaking on the phone, it's a guy speaking on the Yeti mic. He says something that falls completely in line with what she's saying. And then it captures the same guy going, "Hey, Grant." So it's very weird, as we've seen from older experiments I did months ago, when you've got these different recording devices, we're getting different things. But I love this because, I don't know, it's just so darn interesting. How can two instruments be within 3 feet of each other capturing different voices? And one's a man, one's a woman, you can hear it. Holy smokes, do I got the shivers going down my neck now. And my arms. I just came from the sink. I was going to test this out. It's not even turned up loud yet. I came down the stairs and I'm like, I thought I left the TV on with the talking. That trickling sounded like talking. And as soon as I stepped into the room right here, I heard it say, "Hello, Grant." Okay, I'm gonna leave this running. Whew. Weird shivers. So I'm just gonna throw this out there because earlier, like this is hours later, I just had dinner. This is like 5:30 at night now. I'm just watching back and listening. So, I mean, this message is kind of crazy to me, but it shouldn't be after all this time. But when I was filming earlier and I said I'm getting weird shivers, if you watch, I'm like shaking this arm because I was getting shivers in my armpit. And I didn't want to say that on the camera. Just, I don't know why I didn't want to say armpit, but I didn't want to say armpit. So now I get the message. We'll leave that recording for the rest of the time. Day 2 of editing this experiment, but I really am enjoying this experiment and listening to the 3 devices and the different words I get on there. It is getting quite lengthy. I worked over 12 hours on it yesterday. I'm just starting again right now, but I'm going to chop it right here into 2 parts. So again, the following part will be tomorrow, so not a big long wait. One thing I do want to note is that I think that this actually really kind of worked because I'm finding that it's pretty clear on that Sony camera that I left down here in the echo chamber. The voices are pretty clear overall. I mean, there's a couple messages here and there that were scratchy and not great. As usual, we get the mix of messages. You know, some are poor, some are not too hard to distinguish at all. But I found that really the phone was the worst one at the sink. So the microphone coming back to this computer I found really good, and I found that Sony cam really good with the voices echoing in here. So maybe this is the way to do it going forward. I don't know. I have some other ideas planned for different experiments, but I think so far I'm not done editing the whole second half here. I actually went to the sink and asked some questions, so I don't know what the answers are to the questions I asked, but getting definite conversation that seems to be pretty easy to decipher. So anyways, I think so far successful, even though I thought it was going to fail after the first part. But I guess that boils down to the fact that when we first tried it in the morning, it was just that little trickle in the sink and it just wasn't enough. And we got some scratchy voices in there and they were talking, saying, "Hey, this thing's not working right." They were telling us that. So that kind of goes to show that, yeah, you got to get that deep, chunky water, like I always say. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the second half tomorrow morning.